Hey everybody, Ron here with Southwest Colorado Adventures with the old Himalayan, which some of y'all have. And I had a question from a subscriber that said, hey, why don't you make a video about changing the idle speed? And I'm like, well, I can do that. It's actually pretty simple. You have to take the tank off, the seat. There's some hoses up underneath you got to disconnect, but it's pretty darn simple. So we're going to walk through that today. So hang loose and we'll get to it. All right, so the very first thing that we're going to do is take the seat off because that sits on top of the tank. The seat is off. Super simple. My goodness. If it would ever stop snowing, I will take this thing out and wash it. I promise. A promise to you. A promise to y'all. I will actually wash it. So anyway, we've got to pull the tank off. You got a couple of bolts right here on the tank that we've got to take out, and then the rest of it slides out. However, we've got to go through and undo the connections up underneath with the fuel lines and vent lines and stuff like that. We'll walk through it. All right, with our trusty 10 millimeter, which is what basically probably 90% of the bolts on this motorcycle are all 10 millimeters. So if you don't have a 10 millimeter, or if you tend to lose things, you might want to buy a few extras. Before we disconnect it, we're going to go ahead and start it up, see what the RPMs are now. I actually do want to adjust mine up just slightly because there are some slow moving things that I tend to stall. And if I had a few extra RPMs at idle, I think I would be a lot better off. I don't want to run it a lot because I'm in the garage because it's snowing outside, even though it's supposed to be sunny. But our RPM's about 11 to 1200, right in that range right now. Did I mention that it's snowing outside? Yeah, that's outside. I had to end up venting the garage anyway, so just thought I'd give y'all a view of the lovely surroundings. We got about 8 inches a couple days ago. Oh my gosh, I am ready for summertime. I'm at least ready for some sun. We're supposed to be partly cloudy today, and the sun did peek through, but you know what? It was still snowing. So anyway, I don't know. All right, going to try to get everybody down here as close as possible to this. Not that you need to see me because it's really the motorcycle that's the most important thing. But you've got, this is the fuel filter, and the fuel pump, I assume, is right up inside here. So we've definitely got to take that hose off. The cool thing is it's a quick disconnect. So up underneath here, this is the first thing that you'll want to disconnect. And it is a quick disconnect, which is very nice. All right, so here's the quick disconnect. There's a little button on top. All right, had to put my right hand on it. Got to twist it a little bit so you can get, there's actually, if you look right here, now gas is going to come out of that. If you look right here, you can see that there's a little button on this side and a button on the other side. You have to depress both those at the same time, and that gets it out. And I'm going to put my rag on it so that it doesn't leak all over the place. So the next thing we're going to do is lift the tank. These two little guys have a tendency to come off, so make sure that you just keep track of them so that whenever they go on the bottom of the grommet that holds the tank on, so just make sure you keep them handy. Okay, so up under here, if you can see, that connector right up inside there has got to come off. That hose has got to come off. So that is the one on this side that needs to come off. And you can see it off to the left side. There's another one that's kind of got a blue connector that's got to come off as well. It's this little blue connector right here that's got to come off. Okay, those are disconnected. And the other side, I'm not sure we can see it. Right up back in here, there's two lines. One of them has a clamp on it on the right side. The other one is just pressed on, but both of those have to come off as well. So there's 3 different things that you have to disconnect under the tank to be able to pull it out. And this little button has to come off as well, up underneath there. So this guy right here sets up right there, okay? What you want to do is get your finger right there, press it. That's what releases it from the top. And if you do that, it's pretty simple. If you do it the way I did it, it's not as simple. So this is one of the hoses that came off with a little clamp on it, basically straight up underneath there. There's another one that's a breather hose. And then there's the wiring harness on the left-hand side that all have to come off to be able to remove the tank. So we should be able to just pull it off now. Okay, so we're going to pull it off. And yes, everything comes free. And I've got my handy dandy archery target over here that I'm going to set the tank on. make sure that you've got something to set it on. So this is like a breather hose for the tank. The other thing that I just showed you with a clamp is right here, and I'm not exactly sure what that is, but it's got gas on it. So anyway, that one clamps up underneath. That one's kind of right up in here. Anyway, those two, simple, and then you're good to go. I am hoping that you can see what I'm doing here. All right, just to make sure, because the lighting is not as awesome in here, all of this stuff up in here, you're not gonna have to worry about, okay? The idle screw is that right down there. If I move that out of the way, bam, you look at that, you see it's a screw. Now, if you want to increase the idle, this is not righty faster. This is lefty faster. So you want to go counterclockwise whenever you're turning this. And it's about 100 RPMs per quarter turn. So I am going to crank it 180 degrees counterclockwise again, because I want to go up 200 RPM. Basically, if you can see, that is 2/4 of a turn right there. That should give us about 200 additional RPM, and that'll, I don't want it to race, but that should give us exactly what we're looking for. So now it's just that simple. I'm going to put the tank back on, we'll test it out and see how it goes. So the tank is basically set in place. Now I've just got to hook it all back up. That clicks into place. Make sure the little boot goes back over it. Then the last thing we're going to do is on this side, we're going to make sure and hook this harness back up underneath to where it goes. And then we're good to go. Don't forget to make sure you've got all the pieces going back together. Remember these two that I told you about that have a tendency to fall off? It's better if you just go ahead and pull them out because they tend to stick to the frame of the motorcycle. Go ahead and pull them off, set them aside. That way you know where they are. Make sure it's pushed all the way up in. So one thing I did not do, I think the first time, whenever I took this off, whenever I was installing the Fuel X Pro, I didn't get the harness on this left-hand side. I didn't get it pushed back up on top of the spine, the very top of the frame, in between where the gas tank comes down. So I think that's probably important because it was kind of hanging down on top of the cylinder head. And that's probably not where you want that to be. It's a little exposed. It doesn't have a rubber boot on it like this thing here on the fuel line. So I think that it probably should be put up on top of that. Okay, now we're going to hook up the fuel line real quick because I did not put that back on yet. Then we're going to test it out. And that little boot on the back side of where the fuel line connects there. There we go. I want to make sure we get that all the way up inside there. All right, and we went from what, 11 to 1200 to 14 to 1500 right there, which is it's about where I wanted to go. So yeah, it's about 1400. So that's all good. That's exactly what I wanted. And the last thing we'll do is put the seat back on. And we're good to go. All right, hopefully that helped y'all out. It is not that big of a deal. Anytime you break into a motorcycle or whatever it is that you're gonna do, things don't always go as planned. And for me, it always ends up taking me a little longer than I planned. So just plan for about 45 minutes or so of tinkering around, getting everything put together, and you'll be good to go. If you got any value out of this, consider subscribing, like the video. I appreciate it, and we'll see y'all soon.